And this is one of the best things we've seen on the farm in quite some time. About 2¼ inches of rain. Welcome back to Sid's Blue Sky Farm. It is a beautiful day here at the farm, made even more beautiful by the fact that we got just about 2 inches of rain yesterday. And it was a long, slow, all-day rain. Not some really hard pounding rain that washed this dry, dusty dirt away. It started about 8 o'clock and it finished about 2 a.m. this morning. It was exactly what we needed, and we are so thankful for that God-given act of nature called rain. We really needed it. We're going to talk more today about the master landscape plan that we began to show you in the last video. But today we're going to specifically talk about pecan trees because that's what we're going to work on today. And let me give you a little detail about that. If you look at this tree right here, this is a pecan seedling. And when I looked it up with my phone and Googled it, it said common variety pecan, more than likely a seedling grown from a nut buried by a squirrel. Well, that's pretty close, because more than likely that nut fell from this tree beside our garage, got in this pot, got covered up with leaves and mulch, and grew into this seedling. And as you also can remember, or go back and look if you'd like, I went out and found about 30 good nuts almost 2 years ago now, and I put them in a container in the refrigerator for about 60 days, planted them in good dirt, and I came out with about 28 of these. It was an amazing thing. I did a lot of research on the Georgia Extension YouTube channel, and they walk you through how to do this. But we got enough of these seedlings to go out and establish our little pecan orchard in the front pasture. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to do a little work on those. And let me give you a quick look at how those seedlings, how a couple of them are looking out in the pasture. Here's a perfect example of the raised from seed pecan trees that you saw in the example in our opening. Well, you can see that that tree in our video looks very healthy. Now, the deal is not all of them look quite that good. This is an example of the seedlings that aren't doing very well. This one and the one next door to it, right there, will be replaced by an Elliot tree today. As a matter of fact, some of them look so poor that we decided to put our Mayan, if you remember that video, the Mayan nuts are very large nuts. They're a big hardy tree, and those are out in the front pasture, 3 of them. And I'll give you a quick look at those right now. And this is an example of a Mayan pecan tree we put out recently. You can see the new leaves starting on it. One here, one next door, and one directly across from it. As you can see, those trees look pretty healthy. They're not doing bad at all, and especially since we've been in such dry conditions since I planted them. And I'm not the best to remember to go water things every single day, which I probably should. Okay, so now we've got our seedlings, we've got those Mayans that we looked at, and the other trees we picked up are our Elliot pecans, and here they are right beside me. You can see these seedlings, these small trees have some growth on them. We're going to take those out and we're going to find the 4 least healthy seedling that we planted. And we're going to try to dig them up and save them. We're just not going to dig them up and throw them away. But some of them are not doing as well as others. So that's what we're going to do today. Then we're going to go down and take a look at our smaller set out pecan trees and just take a look and check on those as well. Along the way, I just want to let you know, we'll fast forward this, but we're going to put these Ichiban eggplant in the ground. We've been looking for these things for about 4 weeks now, and we finally found them, so we're going to stick those in the ground. And we're also going to put our baskets out in the very healthy garden that's in the raised beds. So let's stop talking. Let's get this thing rolling away and go to work. Really nothing here. It's just a dried up stem. It's a very windy day, so I'm going to try to keep the commentary low and just let you see the action here. The good news, this ground is wet. Oh, neighbor, this ground is wet. Pretty deep. I would say at least 12 inches deep. Let's see what we're working with here. Oh yeah, that's just about perfect right there. Break these clumps up, get some good dirt around them, and push as much of this mulch in that we can. All right, one down. Let's go find the next transplant opportunity. And here we are. This tree is alive, but the top's broken out of it. It's got one little leaf on it, so I'm going to try to get it out of the ground intact. Let's look at what the roots are like. Once again, you see how that taproot is twisted and bent. I did a terrible job planting this tree. Hopefully we can save this one though. I'll put it in a pot. We'll just see how it works out. This dirt is also nice and wet, at least a foot down, and I didn't run into dry dirt in that first hole. Very good right there. A little mulch in. All right, that one looks good too. One more close by. Not so bad, not so crooked, but in a bed of fire ants. Oh boy, a pure fire ant bed, great. Be careful here. We got one more Elliot. 1, 2, 3. Where should it go? I think this original one we looked at is probably the best choice to transplant. The other one that doesn't look great is at least this size half again. We'll just have to see. Let me try to get it out of the ground. All right, let's take a look. Well, one of the very few straight trees that we planted. I think this one will do just fine in a relocation spot. The only question is where. I would have bet that that taproot on that pecan tree here was twisted because it hadn't grown very big, but maybe there's just some other reason. I don't know. Whoops, break my shovel here this morning. We planted that tree right in and amongst a stump. Maybe that had something to do with its poor growth. At least we can get all that out of here. It's a really pretty seedling right there. Tall seedling, but it's a pretty one. Right on it. This should do well. Good mulch in this spot. We have our 4 Elliots in the ground. It was a little bit tougher than I thought to find the right trees to dig up, but we made our call. Now we have 3 trees we've got to put in a pot and figure out where to put those. Somewhere here, here, or maybe just go down and take a look at the other pecan setting, see if we can put them there. Let's drive down there. Someone didn't exactly set this out in a straight row. Maybe it was meant to turn back. Yeah, high, too low, coming back. Let's take a little close-up look at what we've got here. This, of course, is a seedling. It's not grafted. It'll take forever to grow, but it's healthy. First of 2 Mahans we have put in here. Very tiny little buds down toward the bottom and right here on the tip. Doesn't look so great, but maybe it's okay. And it's the same story on this Mahan, just a little bit of green in those buds. Hopefully the rain will kick in and get these 2 trees growing a little quicker. And the last of our seedlings. This one looks awfully healthy. So I don't think we'll mess with any of these. And now we're back here in the garage after what I would call a successful planting of the Elliot pecans. We dug up 3 of the trees that are seedlings. One of them in a lot better shape than I thought it was going to be. What we'll do is we'll go down with the right equipment and put those on the end of that small pecan tree set out down by the pond. That'll leave us 1, and one of them is really not in good shape. We'll make the call on trying to figure out how to keep it alive. Maybe pot it, see what it does. I just hate throwing a tree like that away. It might have a chance to come back. But before we close out, I want to tell you a couple other things. I had this small seedling out here earlier, and I forgot to talk about it. It looks very similar to the pecan to me. I always think it's a pecan. This is a black walnut. And this black walnut tree came from, obviously, a walnut. We didn't set anything out. We had 2 up by the house. That's a long way from right here. But this tree started growing out of this pot without me doing anything. I don't know how. Maybe a squirrel, maybe a bird. Something put a walnut seed in here. And this tree is growing out of it. And boy, it is really healthy. Looks really good. And the last thing I will tell you is, here's another of our crepe myrtles. I love the way these things make you look good when you're trying to start new plants. I broke off a piece of a crepe myrtle. I don't remember which one. We have predominantly white and predominantly red in different sections. When it starts blooming, we'll know which one it was. But as I say, I just broke off a stick about 6 to 8 inches long, stuck it in this pot, and tried to keep a little water on it, and just ignored it through the winter. And this is what we have this spring. This thing is ready to go in the ground or in a pot. And it doesn't cost $20. It costs nothing because it came from an existing tree. So we're really happy to have some of those. The other thing I want to talk about is this. We have about 20, I think we ended up with 26 bags of pecans. It's not a giant bag, but it's a relatively nice bag. And that's why I enjoy messing with the pecans around here. I think I've said this before, and I'll give you a shot as we close out today of the mature trees, because of the 13 or 14 pecan trees that are big and mature on this property, only 3 of them produce pecans. one in the front and 2 back here near the garage. I think the others, maybe they're just old and don't produce, or maybe they haven't been fertilized properly. That makes sense because I've never fertilized any of them. I'll do a little research and see if we can't figure out how to make the existing trees produce pecans. And by the way, these things are delicious. They are crisp, sweet. Really happy the way they turned out. And as we get ready to close, it has gotten really cloudy. We may get a little more rain. That would be very nice. I hope it continues to come down. But for now, we're going to call this a cut, a wrap. We're done. It's hot. We got all the stuff we wanted to get done, finished up. Everybody take care. Have a great week. We'll see you again soon at Blue Sky Farm. Take care. Here's an example of our large, healthy trees. Those 2 actually do produce. The other trees don't do very much. They don't produce anything here close in. The giant tree near that little shed produces nothing. And this tree that I cut a major part off of it, it produces irregularly. Well, we'll take it. We'll take every single pecan these really massive mature trees are willing to give to us. See you soon.